Hi everyone, this is Demari and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a reading in terms of the upcoming full moon that we have on the 14th of September 2019. Now this is for the sign of Taurus. So this spread is a custom one, this is one I've designed myself. And I'll be using that to clarify any messages that are going to be relevant to this time period, particularly between now and the end of the month. But especially when the full moon occurs, the event of the full moon occurs on the 14th, right? So the idea is to get some clarity regards to maybe a situation around an individual or yourself, anything that's kind of lurking beneath the surface that needs to be brought into the light, okay? So it's a little bit like the shadow work, I guess, but this is more in terms of things that need to be revealed in general rather than the deep aspects of self, although that can come into play also. So I just want to say quickly thank you to everyone that's been watching my videos this far, everyone who's been commenting, liking, subscribing. It means the world to me, and engaging with my social pages as well. If you're not following me, you can find my links on my channel. And yeah, do continue to like, comment and subscribe. It means so much, so thank you in advance. And let's get straight to it. Okay, so the first thing I want to pull for you guys is your present circumstances, okay? Where you're at the moment. Particularly as we have just a week to go until the full moon occurs. So I just want to see what's happening for you at this time. So what is going on with Taurus? Okay, you've got the Hierophant in reverse. So I feel like at the moment you've been trying to control many variables that are taking place in your life right now. There may be some circumstances that you feel like you're desperately trying to grasp at in order to maintain this level of icy cool calm that you have and control over certain circumstances. But you may feel like you're losing your grip on them. So you continue to chase these things, continue to try and assert your control over a given circumstance, right? It could be just one thing, it could be several things. But by doing that, you're actually maybe pushing that away from you further, right? By not just trusting in the process, allowing the universe to come in and provide. By going into essentially control freak mode, you may actually be pushing that thing even further away from you, okay? So it's important to be aware of that. And I feel like that's what's taking place right now. That you're trying so hard to manifest something or to maintain control of the circumstance that could be the very thing that's pushing it away, okay? But I'll clarify that in a moment anyway, to see exactly what that could be in relation to. Now, let's have a look at your feelings then. How are you feeling about this circumstance? Because I do feel like if there's multiple things, there's something in particular that's particularly prominent for you right now, Taurus. It could be this love triangle circumstance I discussed with you previously. Sorry, cards just came flying out. So it could be that. It could be a love triangle circumstance if that resonated with you, or it could be something completely different, so we'll look at that. But just now I had the Daughter of Swords come flying out, the Tower and the Strength card, okay? So this is how you're feeling right now. So you know that something isn't working and that even though you're trying to assert your control, right? You're trying to maintain power over circumstance. You know it's not working and that this situation, whatever it is coming to an end. You got the Strength in reverse, because I feel like this is really embodying your energy right now. Because you know that basically this isn't the way to go, right? You know that by trying to get something through force, it actually shows weakness rather than strength, right? This this control, this icy cool calm that you're looking to maintain, you're not exercising that right now. You're not portraying that. That's not what you're projecting into the world. You're projecting insecurity and vulnerability and the need to have absolute control over every aspect of your life. And that is not going to manifest the positive things that you're seeking, right? That's just going to manifest more of the opposite. So it's important to be aware of that, Taurus, because I feel like that is actually one of the factors that's pushing this thing away from you, right? And then you have the Daughter of Swords. So I feel like this is kind of you looking at a circumstance and can't make sense of what's happening, right? That you're sat there on your perch and you're like, why is this not working? I've tried everything. Like I've racked my brain trying to find a solution, right? I've tried everything and nothing is working. I don't understand, right? But I feel like you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're not seeing how by trying to push something and pull something, that you're actually you're creating friction that doesn't need to be there, right? So that's what's happening. That's why it's not working, partially because of the energy you're emitting. Sorry, because of the energy you're emitting, and yeah, like, you know, others, if there's other people involved, they're picking up on that, and that's actually repelling them from you rather than bringing them closer to you. So yeah, it's important to know that it's not working because you're not going about things in the right way, okay? It's not the wisest way to approach this circumstance, okay? So you're seeing that and you're feeling kind of just dumbfounded as to why this isn't happening, but that's why, right? Because it's not the right approach to take with this particular circumstance, okay? So what are you projecting? Because I get the sense that you are projecting this vulnerability, but I want to know what else is being put out there that's causing this. Okay, so you are trying to manifest something. You've got the star. That's what you're putting out there. You're putting out your intentions, right? So you are trying to bring a circumstance or an individual or some kind of resolution into your life, right, with this star card. Then that's very much tied into your biggest aspirations, your biggest hopes, your dreams, right? So it's not just something small scale, this is something in particular that means a lot to you. So I wouldn't be surprised for some of you if this is a relationship. It doesn't have to have anything to do with third party situations. It's just for those whose previous reading did apply to. And if you haven't seen that, you can watch the September monthly read on my channel. So, but for others of you, I feel like it could be just to do with an individual that you have strong feelings for. For some others, it could be a project that you've been trying so hard to obtain and it doesn't seem to be happening, or you're trying to get a job, your dream job, but it's not coming together. And I feel like because you're just kind of being really pushy about it, it's making people question whether or not you're right for the role. So it's important to know that. But what else are you projecting right now? Okay, yeah. So I feel like you're trying so hard to prove your capabilities, right? You've got the Son of Pentacles, this is the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're trying so hard to prove your skills. You're trying so hard to prove your intentions to someone, if it's a relationship or someone that you're trying to form a relationship with. But if it's work related, I feel like you're trying so hard to prove that you have the skills to pay the bills, right? That you are in the position where you would be best suited for this role, okay? But again, because of the way you're approaching it and because you're scared to leave it to chance, or seemingly in your mind to chance, that you're trying way too hard to like ensure that you get this, right? And I just feel like that's doing the complete opposite for you at this time. Okay, so what is going on here? What's caused this friction within you? Where did this insecurity, this need for control stem from, right? It doesn't have to necessarily, I mean, I'm sure that it has roots from way back in the past, but more like, what was the catalyst for this in this situation? That's what I want to know. What was the catalyst for you? Okay, so you got the Five of Wands in reverse. So this disconnect, I feel like because you haven't felt like you're, you haven't been as inspired as you usually are. You haven't felt as connected, right, with that stream of inspiration. And just because you feel like you're being overlooked in some way, that your skills, that your creativity, that your passion for this project is being overlooked. You're desperate to prove that that you do have what it takes, that you are very passionate, that you are very creative, highly skilled, and that's where it's coming out, because of this fear that people do not perceive you as being good enough, right? So that's where that's stemming from. If it's a relationship, I feel like you're scared that people are the person that you are trying to connect with, you're afraid in their minds that they don't see you as being worthy of their affections, right? Worthy of their time, or that there is no real connection there, like it's unrequited in some way, or that they just don't share the same desire to be in a relationship with you as you do. That's what I feel like with that. But again, I'm going to clarify all these cards afterwards, so just bear with me and get more on that after. So what is going to be revealed for you, Taurus, around the time of the full moon? Right? So it can be any time between now and the full moon, but I feel like particularly between the 13th and the 15th, there's going to be some powerful energies at work, and you may have something revealed to you at that time in particular. So what will be the reveal in regards to these circumstances? Okay, so you got the Four of Pentacles. So it's important to note that you already had everything you needed to obtain what you needed, or what you wanted rather, because you have the skills, you have the creativity, you have the problem solving, you have the drive, you have the enthusiasm, right? You're very practical, you can make things happen, right? So there was never any doubt that you were fit for the job, but because you weren't willing to wait and allow them to assess and come to a conclusion, you frantically started chasing these people and harassing, and it made them reconsider whether or not you'd be a good fit within their team or for this project, because they don't want to be hounded, right? They want to feel like they can just come to you, talk to you, have the space to think things through and make decisions, right? But if they're getting hounded, or if they feel like you're being manipulative in any way, or just controlling over everything, that's going to put them off, right? So that's where you're going to realize that actually, there was never any question over whether or not you can do this. It's just, do you have the emotional intelligence to be able to work with these people, right? That's what they want to know at this point. Like, do you have that emotional intelligence in order to fulfill this role, okay? So that's something you need to be aware of, particularly at this time, and really rethink about how you're approaching this project, or this potential client, or this potential employer, right? If it's in terms of a relationship, because I feel like this is going to be half and half. I feel like for some of you it's a relationship, some of you it's work related. For those of you where it's a relationship, I feel like the other person saw you as someone they could potentially be with, and potentially still do see you that way, but they need to know that there's, that you're grounded within yourself, right? That you have these firm foundations, that you're not going to be, just proclaiming these things one moment and then gone the next, right? Because when you're trying so hard in the beginning, it makes people uncomfortable, right? Because they feel like, well, how do I know they're not just, gonna lose interest after a few weeks? Because usually these things kind of grow gradually. Like, yes, of course, you can meet someone and have this amazing connection and the spark's there and this enthusiasm, but the way in which you've approached it, where you've been chasing them constantly and just, expecting, like a long-term relationship, like straight off the bat, that makes them uneasy because they feel like they need to get to know you a bit better, right, before they can make such a big decision. They need to spend more time with you and they need to build that foundation with you gradually, right? But if you're just, expecting that straight off the bat, that's going to be a little bit unsettling for them. That's going to potentially scare them off. So, you need to give it time, and you need to show that that you are grounded, that you are balanced, that you are full and complete with or without them, right? And that's what they want to see. They don't want to feel like, you're pinning all your hopes and expectations on them in order to complete you, right? So that's kind of what they're worried about, I feel, at this time. So it's really important that that you're aware of that, because that they may communicate that around that time, that look, this is the reason why I've not been in contact with you, or this is why I haven't been wanting to meet up, or this is why I just didn't know what to say when you asked me this, or when you told me how you felt, because I just feel like it was a little bit rushed and that we need to kind of take things slow with the foundations, right? So that's what you need to be aware of, Taurus, okay? Just chill your face, take it slow, things will be fine, okay? So, okay then, what about in terms of, because I feel like obviously from having this awareness, there will be a choice that you have to make, right? Because it's not just a case of knowing something, you then have to act accordingly. So what is the decision that you'll be greeted with? What is the choice that you'll be met with regarding this? Yeah, 10 of Wands in reverse. You can either choose to let go of this obsessive, controlling behavior, right, and just allow things to move naturally and flow, or you can hold on for dear life and wring it to death, and so it never happens, right? That's basically the choice that you have to make there, right? Either that you just let go of that grip, that iron fist, let it go, and just see what happens, and let it come to you a little bit, or you wring it to death and it doesn't happen. That's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory, guys. So, it's up to you, Taurus. Do what you want. It's your life. But I'm just telling you what I see, okay? And then what about the outcome then? What is the expected outcome in regards to this? Okay, 10 of Cups in reverse. So it may be that you have this kind of moment of purging where you just release your emotions, all of this frustration, this upset, this anxiety, this worry, this stress that's been surrounding the situation, and you just let it go. You just say, okay, I'm just gonna take a deep breath and just let it go, right? And whatever will be, will be. I've done my bit, so it's out of my hands now. I just have to trust that whatever happens, all will be well in the end, okay? So that's one thing. If you don't, and you continue down this path, you're going to end up very emotionally drained. And I see that, you're just not going to get the outcome you want. I don't think it'll be the end of the world, but you're just not going to get the outcome you want. Right? So it's important to know that. So it depends on what you decide. Okay? So, right, let's just go in and clarify some of this then, so we can get a bit more information from you, Taurus. This won't take too long, I believe. Okay. So, I just want to clarify quickly the Hierophant. I don't need to clarify everything here, but just certain things. Okay, yeah. So, with some of you, it will be a partnership. Some of you, it is a relationship. that you're trying to enter, right? With the two of the wands there. So yeah, it's definitely, there's some kind of business partnership, some kind of mutual agreement that you're trying to create, or yeah, or either or that, or a relationship. So it's either one or two of those for sure. Yeah, and with these cards, the Four of Cups and Four of Swords in the upright, I feel like, you know, it's something that you want on every level, right? It's something that means so much to you. Like you're doing this balancing act between trying to think logically and take the smart approach to this, but at the same time you're so emotionally engaged by it that you find it hard not to just let it be. And when you do, it upsets you because you're not seeing an outcome yet, right? So you just kind of feel like this is never gonna happen. Like, I'm trying everything and it's not happening. I know I have to exercise patience, I know I have to wait, but I just don't see it coming together. But what you don't see is that actually, you know, when you do exercise patience and you wait, those waters start to calm, and that actually, slowly, those things will be slowly flowing towards you and manifesting. But if you don't take the time to pause and allow it to happen, then those waters are going to get really choppy and it's just not going to happen, okay? It's just going to work against, you know, any chance of that happening. So that's the important thing to know there, okay? So I just want to have a look in regards to, as well, the, yeah, in relation to the star card, your projections, if there's anything else that needs to be shared there, because you are putting out a lot of energy into the world right now, Taurus. You're trying to manifest these things, but my gosh, you're not doing it with the right energy. Okay, so you've got the Eight of Swords in reverse, so you really need to know that, you know, you've been fighting against the grain long enough, okay, that by continuing this declaration of war, right, because that's what I don't think you realize, that actually you're committing warfare on this, right? Because you're not willing to just let it be and manifest. You're like fighting it the whole way because you feel like it's not in your grasp. But that is actually what's going to keep it from being within your grasp, okay? You need to stop fighting and just let things flow. Because if you don't, you're the one that's going to be left picking up the pieces and you won't be any closer to where you want it to be. But I don't think I really need to clarify anymore. The messages have been very clear. So yeah, just calm your face, everything will be well. Don't try to force something, just allow it to flow. If it's meant to come into your life, it will. If it isn't, there's something else that's coming up that's more aligned with what you're after, okay? So it's important to know that, Taurus. So thank you for watching. I hope this was useful to you. You know, again, as I said, this is just a general reading. It's not going to apply for everyone, but those it does, I hope that gives you a little bit of guidance. Obviously, it's your life and you choose what to do. I cannot tell you what to do. But hopefully, you know, you will find some kind of resolve at the end of this. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I will see you very soon, Taurus. So take care.